Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the air right now. One radio legend to another, Mr. Terry Carnation. Terry, good morning, sir, and how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. I've never been to the great city of Billings, Montana. What a delight.
I feel odd that you have not been here, Terry. We have got so much supernatural, the spirits here, the things in the woods. There is so much going on here. I feel like you would get to experience a lot if you came out here to Montana.
Can you please tell me, certainly I know about Sasquatch, but can you please tell me about the spirits that may inhabit Billings, Montana? I'm intrigued.
There are in our studio, we're overlooking a moss mansion, a mansion in this community that has an upstairs, a very high level that you're not allowed to go into unless you work there. And the rumors are significant about what happens there. We have an old jail that's now an art museum. Spirits, specters galore.
Oh wow, that's intriguing. I must attend. Book me a ticket.
All right. I will get right on that. Let's talk a little bit about your return to the airwaves. Dark Air obviously was on AM radio for many years, and Terry, you left, and a lot of people heard rumors. Some people didn't know where you went. Where have you been for the past few years?
Well, thanks for asking me. It's been a dark chapter of my life. I've spent many years suffering from a mental breakdown after the loss of my wife, Zelon, Vietnamese, Rainn Carnation. And by the way, I lost her. I'm not saying she's dead necessarily. I lost her in Tijuana. It's a very confusing city, the way it's laid out. And so I suffered greatly. I hit a wall. Literally, I punched a wall, shattered the bones in my hand, had to go around in a cast for months. And it's been a dark time, but now I'm ready to make my return to Dark Air Radio.
Dark Air with Terry Carnation is back. The podcast is available now. Obviously, Terry, I mean, you're an old school radio guy. AM radio, it's about as authentic and original as it gets. This podcast thing, I mean, this is a little new for you. Were you apprehensive to jump into a different form of audio? I mean, it's not AM radio. It's different for you. Was that a big stretch, or did you just do it?
Well, we are aiming in the podcast world to put gentlemen like you out of business. I'm so sorry to say so. Listen, the kids these days, they love the podcast, and it's very similar to an AM radio show, only it's streamable, it's downloadable right into your iPod. They have these things called iPods now that can hold upwards of like 500 songs.
Wow. Jeez.
Yes.
You leave radio. Times have changed, Terry. You take a few years off, break your hand, lose your wife, come back to the game, and they got iPods everywhere.
It's a different world, I'm telling you. It's a different world.
I want to know, obviously you have a chance on Dark Air. You get to hear a lot from other people all around the world, people speaking about their experiences here. Have you noticed that the COVID pandemic that we've been living through has changed the paranormal, supernatural world at all? Has anything changed because of the pandemic?
Well, that's a very insightful question. I think that the pandemic has caused people to take a pause, to ponder some of life's biggest and bigger questions. People who might have only previously had a passing interest in the supernatural or the paranormal are now even more greatly intrigued. And it has opened up an entirely new audience to the world of the paranormal. So it has been a dreadful and difficult time. But for those of us exploring the unexplained and the inexplicable, it's been a golden opportunity.
Oh, nice. Somebody wants to know if you spent your time off of a radio working at Radio Rental. They've heard you over there.
Yes, Radio Rental was another podcast I did. They recorded me working at this VHS rental store, similar to a Blockbuster. And there were audio tales of the mysterious sent in from all over the world, and it was a delightful listen.
I love to hear that you've been keeping up. Somebody out there, obviously, you have very unique hair. You're a very unique looking person. Somebody kind of humorously thinks that you look similar to the actor Rainn Wilson or the actor Bill Hader. They think for some reason it's kind of an uncanny look that you look like one of those two funny men.
That's an interesting factoid that you present. How about that?
I don't see it.
I don't know those gentlemen. I'm sure they're incredibly handsome. I'm sure they have long, luxurious hair like mine, and a great masculine beard engulfs them as mine does. But I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar.
Yes, they're funny. You can take my word for it. Both very funny men. What are we going to? Obviously, I want to know how you got into the paranormal. Now you're the expert. You're kind of the go-to. Everybody speaks through you about their experiences. Some people may not know, and I don't know the full story, but you were actually raised by a ghost. Your mother was a ghost, correct?
Yes. Yes, that is correct. You know the movie Ghost Dad with He Who Shall Not Be Named?
Oh, that was with Mr. Bill Cosby, correct?
No, I said He Shall Not Be Named, and I'm not talking about Voldemort.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Well, I had a ghost mom, and she was spectral, and she took great care of me. She would make me pancakes in the morning. She would fold my laundry. Of course, she was spectral, so she couldn't pick up a spatula to make the pancakes. I would have to make the pancakes myself. Now, everyone said, oh, little Terry's got a screw loose, little Terry's hallucinating, he's delusional, his mother left his father when he was 3 years old, ran off with a hot water heater repairman to St. Cloud, Minnesota, but I knew she was real.
I feel you. Somebody said, I love it. Terry's he's a ghost mama's boy. Yeah, your mom's a ghost, but you're still a mama's boy, Terry. I like that.
I'm a ghost mama's boy. Truer words never said.
They hit the nail on the head. They understand you, Terry. Somebody wants to know if you believe, with your experience, that there are ghosts at Area 51. Obviously, a lot of alien talk about Area 51. Do you believe there are also ghosts there?
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. I know that in Area 52, right next door, there are a great deal of evidence. There is a great deal of evidence concerning interdimensional travel. And then, well, one simply needs to draw a line between what is the difference between interdimensional travel to beyond this physical veil, and is that just the same thing? Are we talking about the same thing? Is it apples and oranges?
I guess we'll never know. Till Dark Air with Terry Carnation. You guys need to listen. We have a guy in the studio this morning, Terry, who runs a zoo here, Zoo Montana, the only zoo in the state. Have you heard anything about animal hauntings or any sort of supernatural happening with animals?
Well, I certainly know that at least 1/3 of birds are robots.
Yes, we have been saying that as well. He does not believe that, but you can confirm that birds are not real.
Well, at least 1/3 of birds have been created in some kind of laboratory, possibly connected to North Korea. I mean, the evidence is irrefutable.
I agree. Also, my producer, McLovin here, Terry, does not believe in any supernatural beings, does not believe, even if we found Sasquatch, that it would be a big deal. What would you say to somebody like him?
I say feed him to the Loch Ness Monster is what I say.
Hey, he does believe in the Loch Ness Monster, so good. You've picked the one we could actually feed him to.
Oh,
he does
good.
Believe it.
Excellent.
Terry, let everybody know how we can check out the podcast here, and if there's anything else we need to check out before we let you go.
Well, thank you. Dear listeners, turn off your radios. No one needs to listen to radio anymore. Just download podcasts. They're so much easier, and you can download them straight to your iPod, which can hold over 500 songs. And go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and get Dark Air with Terry Carnation. That's me. It's hysterical. It's a little bit moving. It's very interesting. And there'll be 15 delightful episodes.
It's amazing. Terry Carnation, the legend. It has been an honor, my friend. I love you. Thank you so much for taking the time for us, and hopefully we'll speak again soon, my friend.
You are very kind. Thank you for having me on the show.